Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the Free Exchange of Ideas. First off, I'm going to apologize for last week. I got into a wee bit of a fight with my 16-pound cat, and he won. So I was in the hospital for 4 days-ish. And then a day of bed rest at home. And now I'm actually on my way to Southern California for a memorial service for my uncle. So it's been a little bit of a rough couple of weeks, and I know this is Thursday, so I didn't do anything this week because I was honestly just trying to recoup and just do my job and then go home and sleep. But so I've got looks like it's about a 5.5 hour, 6 hour drive left. If I can get any of this traffic moving, you can see from the window that it's a lot of stop and go and idle speed. Anyway, so I did want to talk to you about what I had set up before I got sick, injured or whatever, was to talk about, excuse me, nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is so prolific, almost every country on the planet has it. It's clean. It's not cheap to build, but it is cheap to maintain. And the spent rods, at least in the United States, they go to military facilities to be held for however long their half-life is. I honestly don't know the answer to that. In my studies, I did not find that, but I don't remember really looking for that part. So, I did find some really, really interesting things. France has had a couple of small, minimal meltdowns. You can't even really call them meltdowns. They had a couple of failures, but the scale is a 1 to 5 scale for failures at a nuclear power plant. Now, France has had a couple of issues. China says they have had none, although I think the United States is currently watching what appears to be a meltdown in China. Germany has not had any meltdowns or anything over a 1 or 2 failure, so it was basically just smooth sailing for them. Russia obviously had Chernobyl. They're not alone in that. United States, the most obvious one in the United States was 3 Mile Island. That was several years ago, and they lost containment on number 1, but not on number 2. And according to the people that keep track of this stuff, not enough contaminant exited the facility to cause any serious long-term issues with either fish and game or humans. And I couldn't find anything that said they were still having issues or anything like that. Pardon me. So I did find this very interesting. Of all the issues, there are many issues, but of all the 1 to 6 or 1 to 5 issues, the United States has fully 1/3 of those issues, or has had fully 1/3 of those issues. I live in California, so the San Onofre power plant, which is in San Onofre in Southern California, has been running. They started to shut it down, and then for whatever reason changed their mind, and so now it's still running. They use seawater to help cool the plant, to help cool the rods, I think it is. At any rate, so yeah, fully 1/3 of 1 to 5 level issues been in the United States. Also, the United States has more power plants than any country, although, Germany fits in, like, the state of New York, so it's bigger than that. But you understand what I'm saying. It's not... the United States is so much larger than almost every country on the planet, with the obvious exceptions of Russia and China I think, you think of any other big ones? I can't think of any other big countries. Canada, I guess, Mexico, Brazil. I don't know if Brazil has any power plants. I didn't see anything related to Brazil for what that's worth. Now, the reason I bring this up is because I just read a thing about Greenpeace. I don't want to say Greenpeace, but it might be somebody else who's focused on nuclear power. And in going through some of their stuff, they're not actually focused on nuclear power as what they're saying in their propaganda about it. It's mostly not an issue. But, and one of the other things is, one of the United States, Russia, and Germany, France, Great Britain, Australia, and China, I think, are the only countries with a nuclear powered Navy system, a naval force. So in the United States, almost all of the new aircraft carriers. I'm so sorry. I know I'm trying to do two things at once and I shouldn't. But all of the aircraft carriers, all the newer aircraft carriers are nuclear powered. A lot of the battleships are nuclear powered. The larger boats are nuclear powered battleships, that kind of thing. And that goes pretty much across the board. Nuclear powered submarines. We've never had a submarine fail for nuclear power. They failed for other things, but never for that. So, in saying that the United States has fully a third of all of the 1 through 5 failures, I believe it noted that only 3 Mile Island and I think one other was a meltdown of sorts, so level 4 or 5, which is honestly pretty good. It's clean power, meaning the only thing it releases into the air is steam, and so anytime you drive by one of those things, you'll see the big steam plume coming up from the stacks, and people were freaking out. Oh my God, is that radioactive? And it's not. It's just not. It's steam, and the steam generates electricity. They push the steam through turbines like a dam, and it creates a lot of electricity. San Onofre powers a good portion of Southern California, which is a shit ton of people. Sorry, pardon me. A lot of people. We also have dams, hydro dams, in the United States that are really pretty good. We are having problems with water on the west side of the United States because the Colorado River is running not at capacity. Although this last winter season, the Gunnison Dam and there's another one right at the border of Utah and New Mexico that feeds down to Southern California, Nevada, so Lake Mead. That's that dam is also a hydroelectric dam. So we're able to keep up with those kind of things. But I find it just amazing that now, just recently, in the last couple, 3 years maybe, there have been what they call neighborhood nuclear power plants. And they're quite small. They're not built to take care of hundreds of thousands, but they're built to take care of hundreds of homes. And they're neighborhood power plants. They don't put out a lot of extra power. But the thing about a power plant is it's got a pretty good lifespan. And honestly, short of a serious breakdown, like Fukushima, which was not the power plant's fault so much as it was nobody anticipated a wall of water rolling through that area. That's a really, really neat idea. Small power plants powering small towns or small areas, and that allows you to take a lot of the weight off of utilities, because those power plants generate so much power that they can support hundreds of homes, and they're just out there in the middle of nowhere. Not in the middle of nowhere. They're in the neighborhood, but I mean, they don't take up any larger space than a couple of standard city home plots. So I mean, or I guess suburban home plots. So you're looking at like a third to a full acre ish, just a plot. That's all. And it's fairly self-contained. It doesn't require a lot of people to take care of it. The gauges and whatnot are fed into a central area, and they watch a bunch of different ones. So, but again, nuclear power is clean power. It's cleaner than coal. It's cleaner than a dam, because you don't ruin a fish's life or multiple fish's lives over a long period of time. You don't ruin cities, because a lot of dams have dams in area. Shasta is a really good example. There's a town underneath the water, a little bit north of the dam. I think it's north of the dam. And when the water was down so bad the last couple of years, we weren't getting any water, any rain, you could actually see there's a church in that town, and you could see the very top of the steeple when the water was down so low. There were a lot of places in the lake you could not go because of that. So it was pretty nasty. That part was. But I believe, and I'm 60 plus years old, I've seen a lot of things as far as nuclear power goes, and I am very, very, very impressed. I am super happy with that. Okay, I've never seen that one. I hope this is still running. Yes, outstanding. Okay, so anyway, I think if you do a little bit of research, you will find also that nuclear power is the way to go. It is, oh my God, that was ballsy. It is clean. It is, you dick. Sorry. Guy just cut me off. I apologize. It's clean. It's efficient. The power generation lasts for multiple 20-year cycles and can be reproduced regularly. You can recreate a nuclear power plant in almost any situation, and it will be up and running in a few short years. Germany actually has more power plants than any other nation in Europe, and I was just amazed to hear that. I was also amazed to hear they're shutting their plants down so that they can get oil from Russia through the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. And I was like, that doesn't make any damn sense. Why would you do that? You had basically free power. All you gotta do is re-up it. But hey, nobody can figure out Germans all the time, right? Anyway, that's all I got for you, and I'm really sorry that it is in my car as I'm trying to drive, because I think I had a lot more stuff, but honestly, I really got to pay attention to what I'm doing now. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you will subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Leave a comment, because that only helps me in the algorithms. Even if it was like you sucked, I'm okay with that. Still helps me in the algorithms. Maybe that's why you don't want to leave a comment. I don't really know. Remember, even fluffy bunnies have teeth and claws for a reason. Live long, fight hard, win the day. See ya!